Always happy to have you along. Wayland Yutani's here. Guten Abend. Same to you, my friend. Kingsman is in. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Russian week. Well, we can call it Eastern Bloc because it's Ukraine, not Russia. Merlin Flyers in. Good to see you. Catbat 9. Just finishing a flight in Siberia. Maybe a little late. No worries. Had a little bit of a delay. Happy to have you along. Big Ear 60's in. Good evening. Warhamster put a lighter spring in the stick. Nice. Goblin, high from Egypt, jumping from France, Pyrenees, and small challenging airports, finally Ukraine. Absolutely. Evening all, John. Good to see you. Getting a cup of tea. Awesome. The live weather does look nice, does it not? Where Eagles Dairy. Yeah, I threw that on there to kind of throw off because it seems it's one of those songs. Twitch seems fine with it. YouTube not so much. Paragon is here. Good to see you. Magic 888 is here. Good to see you. Good afternoon. Ben McClure is in. Hello, hello. Well, again, welcome to the Ukraine. After a slight delay of start, got me in a bit of a pickle, just trying to get everything sorted. Oh, you silly. Well, we're not going to use Sim Toolkit Pro for flight planning, but we'll have the flight information regardless. Yes. The Uzi Whatsits. So, I think I've got everything sorted out. Everything's hunky-dory. So yes, we're going to be flying into Ukraine today. We're going to start at some little airport, and we're going to be visiting a lot of places that I don't know how to pronounce, which is fine. We will be a little airport here. We're going to go up the river. Peter Kearney is here. Good evening. You're more than welcome along. The server should be the East USA. Yes. So, how about we get on with it? We're flying here in the good old reliable 172. Although, somebody said that there's no wind. That's a lot of wind on live weather. Just saying. So we're going to go ahead and get this show on the road. Master switch is coming on. Beacon on. Mixture to rich. Throttle is cracked. And we say clear prop. Gosh. We'll get some old light in here. Let's see what happens. Oh, I have none. That looks sporty. Yeah, you know, yeah, just a little bit of wind. What's the old saying? A little bit of a challenge. So we're gonna be going from here to up the river, make a stop. We're gonna from there we're gonna go up and visit Kyiv, check out a bit of scenery up that way. And then from there, we will be flying over The power plant in the former power plant in Chernobyl and over Pripyat. Alright. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. If it's completely unruly, we will adjust weather. We're just gonna see how it all goes. Trying out the VL3 and few clouds. Had enough bad weather in Siberia. Fair enough. I like the VL3. It's a nice little airplane. Oh, we're getting towards the departure end of the runway. Turn it around. Check our trim. Oh, and let's get rolling. So, aileron into the wind. We got full... Oh dear, this is not... Oh, this is exciting. That was sporty. No need for flaps, tell you that much. As we got fireflies taking off. Yeah, whoopsie doodles, alright. Yeah, it's... Woof! That's what we call sporty. So we might go just to some scattered clouds. Or I'm going to go to something... Woo! A little bit custom. I took a weather, one of the presets from SoFly, tweaked it a little bit, and I like it. It has a lot of layers of clouds and gives some nice color in the morning. And you notice I don't have the name tags on. That's because they fixed it. Let's see this again. Yeah, Sim Toolkit Pro doesn't like the identifiers for the airport codes, which is annoying. But what can you do? So it seems everybody is up, and on the way. Jan Moorkamp is here. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. We just took off from our first takeoff. We're going to set autopilot to nav mode, vertical speed 5. Actually have to descend. So we'll set our cruise power since it didn't take that long for us to get to cruise altitude. East USA, Peter. METARs don't like the codes either. Interesting. Look at the color. Yeah. Ice is no good. No bueno on the ISO. Look at all the lights. Haha, there you go. Oh, I hit 180. Nice. If I'm completely honest, YouTube is kind of a bit of a second thought to me. Oh, you're right. Well, huzzah! Thank you all for subbing to the channel. YouTube is kind of an afterthought for me personally, especially when it comes to streaming. It's just not as user friendly for the content creator. Nothing on my YouTube is monetized, and that's my choice. Even if I were to unlock it, I would not enable it because to me, I like doing streaming more than I do YouTube, and YouTube's algorithm and whatnot is just, it's not great. So I like sticking with Twitch. I think it's overall a better experience. But for now, we're sticking with the dual stream. For now. And I do appreciate every single one of you for flying along. A lot of wonderful things happening in the community. Jepson 2001 just uploaded some new pictures of Shannon and announced that the Casement Aerodrome scenery he produced will be updated after the big UK Ireland update that hypothetically is coming out next week, which we're all looking forward to that. Hope everyone is doing well, though. It is Thursday. We're but one day closer to the weekend. Which we can all enjoy that. And look forward to... Let's see. Murphy is in the house. Just pushing buttons and the lives of which had never been seen. Good to see you, Murphy. You're not late. You showed up exactly when you needed to. No. Not that I'm aware of. I mean, it should at least have a window defroster, but they hadn't modeled that in yet. And I do appreciate it, Goblin. I didn't get to see the notification until today, so many thanks to Goblin Zeus for the follow and the subscribe over on Twitch. Much appreciated. Look at the color of the clouds and the sun with the sun. Isn't that something? Seamus McNeil's in. Good to see you. Uh-oh. The servers are doing pre-update server things. And I do greatly appreciate it, Dougal. You're a gentleman and a scholar. I think my engine... No. I can set up a little bit. At about 2,500 RPM. We're about half an hour out from the first stop. Just in Discord, all the files you need for the group are there. Once you join, I'll give you access to the group. I had not. I'll have that on my list of things to do. Uh-oh, noise. Woo! This might derail your train of thought. Well, as the saying goes, turnabout is fair play, Murph. With the tip, donation, whatever you want to call it, of 50 buckaroos. Many thanks, my dude. That's very kind and generous of you. It's not that hard to derail my chain of thought because it's kind of going in 50 different directions at once, and I have to corral it. It's part of why I wear a hat. It focuses my direction. Many thanks, my dude. And it is 100% appreciated. Jan is going over to Twitch. Need to use it more. Yeah, so as far as Twitch goes, I've with recent happenings and goings on and such, I may end up ceasing the dual stream and moving solely over to Twitch. Is for me, it's a lot less work to try to well, I say work, a lot less hassle to focus on one platform to stream on. With my system, it may perform better. Not trying to do, different things and have a million other added programs running. And as John, is it Jan or Jan Morecamp? Many thanks for the follow, though. Not at all, my dude. Pleasure and thank you for this. Hey, the community gives me life and has made made the past year very bearable. So I do greatly appreciate it. Man, I am all over the place. Let's see. Where is, there you are. Join Simwings Project. I am on the Simwings Project Discord now. So, huzzah. Alright. Back to the chat. But yeah, no, I give back. The community is worth giving into. It's fantastic, and we have great people, and it's just fantastic. Jan is closer, or Yan? It's Jan, Yan, John. I'll get it right one of these days. So we're up in this lake that I couldn't tell you how to pronounce. Let's see. So many things going on. Alright, now I'm officially registered. Awesome. So many things going on. My goodness. Okay. So, but yeah, so it's like the discoverability of YouTube is fantastic, and I really enjoy it. But at the same time, it's just a lot of the behind the scenes headaches that it can cause is just, it's getting to the point where it's getting silly, and which is kind of make me want to go back to solely streaming on Twitch. It's a lot less hassle, and I don't know, I mean, it works about the same. There's less delay on, there's less latency between when you send a chat and I see it. That makes chat interaction so much easier, a bit more live. There's more chat integrations, different fun things that can be done with chat with different programs. So it just, I can see why a lot of people like YouTube. It's it's a one-stop shop for a lot of stuff. You can watch VODs, and it's easier to find things. It's just YouTube was never really designed as, it was never it wasn't designed as a streaming platform. It was, live stream was kind of shoehorned in. I think I have to do an audio file for you. That might be helpful. Biggles is in. Nice to see you again. Where are you right now? Which server? East USA server. We are flying in the Ukraine. Cue Darth Vader voice for Dougal. I have you now. So we're kind of on a custom tweaked SoFly preset based on the mid-level clouds preset. Kind of sparsed them out a little bit so you can see some nice dynamic clouds with some blue sky. A little bit of extra wind just for fun. We'll eventually be heading over Chernobyl and Pripyat. And doing that, I'm big into history, for those that haven't caught on to that yet. So we're definitely it's, and I can't remember the exact date, which shouldn't take me too long to discover. Let's see. It happened 26th of April in 1986. So we're not quite on a... Let's see, it would have been almost 35 years ago this year. But kind of a look at just the area and give it a look, and it would be John Mather's AP just took him out. Kingsman would like to visit Chernobyl. I would too. There's a lot of adventure seekers that like visiting Chernobyl and whatnot, and I think the Ukrainian travel board, whatever they call themselves, knows it for thrill seekers and whatnot. Me, I would like to visit it more for the historical perspective on, just to see see things as they are, and I find it interesting and a bit fascinating, but I'm weird, so there's that. There's nice. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't old enough to remember it happening. Let's just put it that way. It was... I can only imagine the pandemonium going on in the news world while it was going on. Bald and bankrupt. Interesting. There's a neat video. I'm gonna see if I can put it in the chat. That it kind of strikes a chord with me. About the whole thing, and it's a well done video. I'm gonna go ahead and put it into chat here in a moment. Blammo. Let's see. For Pripyat. Yeah, probably. Yeah, the quite literal fallout from the incident was a global thing. We can certainly try. People are moving back nearby town, even though it's still deep. Yeah, I mean, it uprooted so many people, so I can't say as I blame them. But I do it not to glorify the incident or anything like that, but it's important to remember history. And what better time, what better way in flight sim that we had to see places of history than than we're able to now with flight sim. It's just flight sim has gotten to be such a phenomenal tool for exploration and discovery, and to be able to visit historic sites, good or bad, has just been phenomenal in flight sim. And that's why I do what I do and where I go. See, apparently it is, they can't afford a proper home, I think. That might have something to do with it. It's a sheep word formed. Yeah, and that's kind of how radiation works. It's an insidious poison that works from the inside out and may not affect someone directly, but down the line, lineage wise, will do that, humans or otherwise. I used a big word, insidious. This could be a postcard. It's a beautiful sunrise, though. That's what it. Yeah, no, 100%. And we do this stuff to remember those that sacrificed to save others, and those that perished in the incident. It was just, it was awful. Yeah, no, it's important that we remember that, and just to remember the human element in the whole situation that got uprooted, and the lives that were just destroyed and ruined. And it's to watch the recreation series. It's available on. I think I've seen ads for it, and I'll have to check it out. But I mean, the just even speaking to Ukraine, it's a lovely looking country. Yeah, never forget the human element, and all those that died in the initial parts of the disaster, and those that suffered the consequences long after the initial event. It's just an awful, awful thing. And Flight Sim died again. Come on, Flight Sim, get your act together. So we're just going to kill Sim Toolkit Pro for now. So for now, we'll go to this screen. As Flight Sim gets its act together. So yeah, I do have on. Oh yeah, the Chernobyl series is great. Yeah, yeah, and they've made video games like the Stalker series. Yeah, I really think that I need to start looking at investing into a better CPU here soon, because it's getting a little bit silly. Because when I'm not streaming, it's not so bad. But granted today, so I'm going to blame certain amount on server instability. Okay, it's not going to let me change anything. Oh, I can change that. Let's see where that goes. Fly Guy is back. Welcome back. So long as it's you've got the stream up, that's all that matters. Oh, I don't know. There's a lot of iffy things. Like I said, I kind of put some of it on server instability because I got a connection. Like, oh, you lost the connection. Oh, reconnected, and it's not normal. That's not normal behavior. So there's something funny going on. And Brick Rhymes is in the house. Good to see you. Long time no see. Yeah, I'll have to look up the miniseries. But yeah, so the more I think about it, the more I think next week I may try just at least for a week, see how things go. I may go solely to Twitch for a week just to evaluate. CPUs, yes. I don't have necessarily anything against Intel, but for doing a lot of other stuff like that require a lot of multi-threading, AMD just is hands down better. Peter, you may have to cycle the multiplayer setting on and off if you don't see anybody for a prolonged period of time. It seems to help in a lot of cases. Let's see where. Okay. And we're gonna get rid of that because we don't need it. So looking into getting one to run flights. Okay, we should be good to go. Nav mode. Altitude hold. Think we're doing okay now. Good call, John. Quite beautiful and close. Absolutely. No, I mean the countryside itself is beautiful, very very beautiful. But it's all about learning the history of the one particular area, and we will be overflying it. See, have the same movie scheme as you. No, that happened when somebody uploaded a flight dynamics mod for the F-15, and I've had the F-14 splash screen ever since. So I think it's part of that. Unless Microsoft updated something without telling everybody. Yeah, I've not had a reason to switch back. So we're definitely back on Curse. So we're going to turn off the old nameplates. So we're about 5 minutes out. As a beta tester for one of the Spitfires. Nice. Cannot wait for that. There's so many good airplanes coming out soon. The Spitfire is going to be amazing. Having a proper DC-3 will be really handy. Oh, let's see. So many good aircraft and such coming out for Flight Sim soon. It's fantastic. 2 Spitfires. Yeah, because I know the Airplane Heaven's doing a Mark 1, and DC Designs announced like a Mark 14. Take the Copilot free add-on. Nice. So I'm going to do a thing. To UK. And I'm going to no use. Well, here, let's go back. And we're going MJ. There we go. Let's see. Do you have to do it? Not on the Sega Mega Drive. There's an F-22 game on PC that I had. And I feel like we're getting close to the first stop. Let's see. Get down, we'll definitely... there it is right there. So we should be... Okay. Autopilot coming off. Lately I've been kind of enamored with looking back on Jane's F-15. And I wish I could find my copy of it, because just for the sheer crack of it, I would love to see if it would run on a modern system. It's kind of a shame that the Jane's Sims are no longer a thing, because I think there'd be a good market for them nowadays. And first thing people will say, oh, there's DCS. Well, DCS is great and all. Their community could use a little bit of work, in an overall sense. But I like it, and it would definitely be nice to have more World War II combat simulators, like the old Microsoft ones, because those are fun. So I'll get down first, get situated. And then I'll get turned around and get everybody, get a camera on everyone's landings. Yeah, and that's the other thing about DCS, is just like some people don't want to spend the time, learning all of the systems, and it's just like it's great for hardcore people that want to really delve into study level stuff. There's a lot of people that don't, and they just want to. Some people want something that's somewhere less simmy than DCS, but not as silly as Ace Combat, for instance. You know, not that I have a problem with either in their own right, but some people want kind of a blend of the two. Okay, we're on final. Trimming to keep the speed up. Nice. I'll have to look that one up. Did pick up a copy of IL-2 Sturmvik, Battle of Stalingrad. I just haven't given it a whirl yet. I'm running out of hard drive space. It's becoming a problem. Okay, so we're over the middle marker. Okay, almost over the threshold. There's the threshold. Roll out. Keep a little bit of rudder in it for the crosswind. Start flare. Like butter. Correct. 3-2. Okay, so we're gonna skip that one. Parked up right here. Going to get the camera rolling faster. And name tags go on. Wow, that's a lot of people. So runway 32 is open for landings. See if I can get the windsock in there. Pardon me. There's our bruschetta. Good to see you. Ooh, Skylane. Magic 888. Druid Zeus. There's Warhamster and a Mooney. Catbat in the VL3. Ooh, we got a Baron with us with Biggles. There's Chilled Corky in the 172. That's a DA40. Frozen. Good to see you. There's a Seminole with Cooper Pete. Or Copper Pete. Ooh, there's a Robin. Kingsman. I feel like there's more out there. And as soon as I go to look, they'll be on final approach. Fly with each other as somebody just Allison dropped 5 tier 1 subs to the channel. Many thanks, Allison. That is huge and very generous of you. So Lapdog 007, Gibbo Ireland, Jefferson 2001, Capat 9, and Lukester 911 all getting tier 1 subs courtesy of Allison Johnson, you legend. Many thanks, Allison. It's hugely appreciated. You're very, very generous, and I am humbled and grateful for the generosity that you've shown. So many, many thanks to Allison. And well, it doesn't want to show that easily, so we'll do there, and whammo. Anyone know if what a guy flies at MSFS Texas? That could be any number of things. It could be a ultralight. Those are typically classified as experimental. Allison has begun doing some flights recreating Amelia Earhart's flights. I don't know if that's continuing this weekend or not, but be sure to go over to her Twitch channel and give it a follow, because that's exciting. So more historic type flights from the Fireflies. There goes Hammy and the Mooney. So Saturday at 1500 Zulu, be sure to tune into Allison Johnson's channel as she goes from Burbank to Tucson. So the tag in the sim was wondering what the plane was. That's a good question, Wayland. I'm not 100% certain. As Dougal McTavish throws a follow over here on Twitch. Many thanks, my dude. You know, at some point in the near-ish future, there's a couple of flight plan series that I would like to do, and I have planned, but I also want to make sure that I'm doing them justice. I know that once the big UK Ireland update drops next week, if it actually drops next week, lots of flying around Ireland and the UK are in order. Specifically, we're planning a mock loop trip using the jets that are now available in the sim, from the Eurofighter Typhoon, the MB339, the Fiat G91, and of course the DC Designs F-15 will be flying through the mock loop. So look for that here in the next week or so once the update hits. Well, that definitely explains the severe left brake you performed there, Hammy. It wasn't a planned one. But yeah, so more and more Fireflies are getting into the streaming thing. And I think that's a wonderful thing. Because we Fireflies have a tendency to enjoy the relaxed and chilled atmosphere of flying, which is why we're all together. So we support our fellow Fireflies when they stream. And I think there's a real niche for the chilled and relaxed GA style flying needed, that is very much needed in the broader flight sim community, because there are an awful lot of folks that will do the tube liners, and nothing wrong with that. But there is a definite shortage of GA streamers that have the nice relaxed atmosphere of doing okay by doing real world procedures, but not so stuck on them to not have fun, and which is the reason we're all together under the House of Murph. And we are the Fireflies, and we like to fly, we like to have fun, and we like to experience wonderful camaraderie in the world of simulated general aviation, which is why we do these group flights. So definitely be sure to give... Actually, I think I can do that. Technical is in. Good to see you. I think that should work. So go ahead and follow Allison Johnson over on her Twitch channel to keep an eye on her Amelia Earhart flights and whatever comes beyond. Oh my. I just looked outside my window. It's snowing pretty good. As far as I'm aware, my state is currently under a winter storm. I think it was a winter storm warning, actually, from the National Weather Service. So that should be exciting. What that really tells me is it's time to fly more. I made a lot of group information flights and landing challenge with Essential RC. Very nice. Allison says she has over 28,000 nautical miles to go for the Round the World tour. Currently, it's the 80th anniversary of the formation of the RAF Air Cadets, and my squadron are having a Zoom meeting. That's good. Have fun on the meeting, Ben. No worries. Give a shout out to the Fireflies while you're there, and hopefully we'll see you later on. If not, we'll see you on Discord and the next stream for sure. It's raining in Liverpool. I don't know which I would rather have, rain or snow. Rain, you don't have to shovel. But rain has a tendency to just make everything bleh. Whereas snow, you can have fun with snow. It's just the shoveling part of it that's not so fun. It looks like we have an F-15 with us already. I'm in the big old mitten, known as Michigan. Les Gaines asks, good to see you. Welcome along to the flight. It's been relatively sunny the last few days, and today it just decided, you know what, it's time for some more snow. So it sounds like it's a good day to stay inside, not go anywhere, and stay warm. Well, Michigan's called the Big Mitten because if you look at the lower peninsula, it's kind of shaped like a mitten. Money says that that's hammy. As Mud Air... Mudasersnet? Thanks for the follow over on Twitch. It's greatly appreciated. I do believe that F-15 has Lakenheath markings on it. Muda. Aha! Muda's AirNet. I'll get used to it. Muda's. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop trying to stop butchering it and just many thanks for the follow. Before I sound like a complete idiot. Flying the F-15E model. I have a tendency to prefer the C's, but to each their own. Just look at the scenery. Isn't it lovely? So we should be getting relatively close. We're about a half an hour out of Kyiv. Look at that. Isn't that something? Yeah, and this is why we keep coming back to Flight Sim. Because for all the bits that drive us mad, we get screens like this that are just amazing. And it's hard to turn your nose up at it. Of course, everybody wants something a little different out of their flight sim, and that's perfectly fine. It's all about letting everyone have their fun. Alright, so we're going to draw back the power just a little bit to about 2400 RPM. I want to indicate a little closer to 115 knots in airspeed. But I do thank you all for flying along. Makes the whole experience much more worthwhile. Wow. That's a lot. That's a big number. Those are some big numbers I got rolling there. Sorry, I'm distracted. But yeah, no, it's just... I really do appreciate everyone flying along and all the generosity that you all have shown me. It's been quite the wild ride in the last six or 7 months. Not to mention the broader world spectrum, but since running into Murph and all the Fireflies getting together. It's been quite fantastic, if I do say so. Getting to know everybody. I now have quite a number of friends over in Ireland and the UK and even more in the US. It's phenomenal how something like this can bring such a global community together. You're all very friendly people, and I'm grateful to know each of you. We are looking forward to the big meetup that we're planning with the Fireflies over in Oshkosh in 2022. Because hopefully by then the world will be back to some semblance of normal. Draco's in the house. Just made it home from work. Gonna watch the stream. Awesome to have you along. We're on our way to Kyiv here in the Ukraine. Pardon me. We're, of course, flying along with the Fireflies. Some phenomenal formation flying here. See if I can get a good shot for everybody to be able to see. Nope. Too far. Nope. There we go. Well, that's about as good as it's going to get. Yeah, the VL3 is a nice little airplane. I feel like that's a P-149 with a cloaking device. It seems they still have either they haven't patched it yet, or they released an update that I wasn't aware of. That's yet another fantastic little airplane. Well, today's been a bit of a challenge, but I think that's been more to do with some server instability, but hard to say. I think in general it's been a little bit better. I haven't had any AMD pop-up crashes, which is a good thing. So we'll see how it goes. I'm starting to think that some of the instability is also just due to all the different programs I need to run for OBS, or for dual streaming anyway. So next likely upgrade will be getting a larger CPU and an all-in-one cooler. The man, the myth, the legend, Jefferson 2001 is in the chat. Saw your updates to Shannon in progress and your announcement about the update of Casement. Looking forward to that, my dude. Exactly, Draco. It's just, it fixed a lot of issues. but a lot different issues pop up once the stream starts. So I think the CPU is the next step in improvement. Let's see, we've got at least 4 different aircraft in this close up. We've got a VL3, we got a DA40, we got a 17, we have 3 172s and an F-15. You certainly have your machine with these things. You're just absolutely do some fantastic work, my friend. I can't wait to see the new updates and the new sceneries in the future. There goes Flight Sim again. Well, Grundles. So we're gonna kill that. Kill that. Yeah, it's kind of frustrating. But we will persevere. We'll get through it. Set. Need to do that old Picard maneuver. But yeah, so we'll see. Today's been particularly bad, but especially with them getting ready for the big UK Ireland update, I think there's a lot of server instability right now because they do a lot of things that are server based with these aircraft that just, I don't know why they should be server based, because it ends up causing more problems than it's frankly worth. They may be more stable for higher performing systems. Mine's not exactly super performance. So mine kind of has this tendency to teeter on the edge of stability as it is. Yeah, so and that's what gets me is, really good systems are having these issues, which just makes me think that it's got to be because for whatever reason they seem to like their server based this, that, and the other thing, and that creates problems. Yes, I've got a 1600 AF Ryzen 5. Yeah, and I think that's the thing for me too. It just goes unresponsive, and which just tells me that it's got to be something on their end, and they have way too many things that are server based that just has a tendency to cause problems when they're starting to do updates. And I mean, I don't know how they thought that was a good idea, but whatever. Yeah, so it kind of borders on the fact that a lot of the issues are really Asobo's problem. It just affects a lot of people, which is problematic in a lot of ways. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat, Draco. And I've been considering the 3600 as an upgrade, because I'm thinking either the newer, higher end of the Ryzen 5 series, or the lower end of the newer Ryzen 7 series. We're gonna departure arrival to the time of day. We're just gonna call it 9. Yeah. I mean, the higher end Ryzen 5s, because they're still on the more affordable end, but the Ryzen 7s would be nice because of the extra, or the added couple of cores would be rather handy. There we go. So nav, altitude, 3. That's not PC, bro. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Long time no see. Hope you're well. Hope you're keeping busy. We're here flying in the Ukraine. We're about to land in Kyiv. We're flying here with the Fireflies. Speaking of more friends over in the Detroit metro area, it's a Ryzen 7 and AM4 socket. I haven't looked into those, but for $200 I couldn't beat the 3600 in my performance for the most personally. As far as I know, a lot of the Ryzen, at least the current gen Ryzen 7s, are still in the AM4 socket. I don't think they get out of the AM4 socket until you're getting into the Epic or Threadripper series. Okay, we're gonna dial back the power a wee bit. Say if you're on YouTube, yeah, yes. Many thanks for the reminder, Allison. The H570 Aorus Master. I have the Gigabyte Aorus B450 Elite motherboard. John Mann, a message from Beyond the Grave. Oh dear, your AP has got it out for you tonight. Which is another one of those server-based things, so maybe there's something to it. Okay, we're gonna pump up to 2500 RPMs. Catch back up with the Fireflies. Let's see, let's go over here. Let's transfer. Whoopsie doodles, I'm pressing buttons. Uh-oh, Dougal had a CTD. Papa Joe B had another commitment, it just got in. Awesome. We're about to get into Kyiv. We're in the Cessna 172 steam gauge, so the 172 Classic. You have a good night, Dougal. Glad to have you along for as long as we were able. We'll definitely catch you on Discord and the next stream for certain. Draco got the bug to get in the air. Grabbing the rudder pedals and meeting the firefighter in Kyiv. Awesome. So most of these locations I haven't been able to pronounce with any remote certainty that I'm remotely correct. But Kyiv I know. Then there's Pripyat and Chenobyl. So I can at least get a couple of them right. So we're about 20 miles out, or about 10 minutes, 10 and a half, from Kyiv. Philly Roach is in, just looking in tonight. That's quite alright. Glad to have you along. We won't be landing, but we'll be flying over. I've got my my mop suit handy, just in case, as well as my M40. Although they got new fancy ones nowadays. But despite everything, it's still just a fantastic looking country. Got my S10 Raptor out. Nice. Got your counter in your classroom for kids to play with. I'll use it tomorrow and make sure I'm... There you go. and you can tell your students the illustrious Colonel Fork flew over and explored the Chernobyl and Pripyat area, or you can use it as a lesson. Looking forward to all the fun aircraft that are coming out. I know Murph's doing a review on the Trinidad, the Cicada Trinidad, I think it is. One of the French, I think it's French. Just came out a couple of days ago, earlier this week. I don't remember. But it looks nice from the outside. The interior of it is looks just goofy to me. Did they put the amusement park in it? Yes. The Ferris wheel is very easy to see. The bumper cars are a little bit more difficult to see. That makes sense. I kind of thought that's what you meant, because the only other S10 that I'm aware of is a truck. And now Colonel glows in the dark, and, well, I don't like to flaunt it, but yeah. Yep, Cicada Trinidad. Not keen on the view from... Yeah, it just looks weird. I mean, you get planes like the Icon A5 that kind of looks like a car. I flew the SR-22 for a bit on Mer's stream yesterday in Russia. And I can't say that I like it. The DA-40's instrument panel I like. The SR-22, it just feels too claustrophobic, and just from the screenshots, I get the same kind of feeling from the Trinidad. Yeah, it's just not a very cozy. It looks like there's more glass from the outside than there really is from the inside. Nice, but not. Oh yeah, especially in these days. So we're about 5 minutes out. So before we land, we're going to do a little bit of city touring. Try the Pips for a great window views. I think I've flown it a little bit. And there's two of the light sport ones that I've flown, and one of them seemed really weird, and I didn't care for it. The other one I liked a lot, and I can never remember which one's which. So we have installed a freeware scenery for Kyiv, as it is the capital of the Ukraine. So we'll have a brief look over the city, look at some of the sites, because that's what we do. Reduce power just a little bit. We're going to skip that one. We're going to skip that one too. Let's see, Ryzen 7 3800X and its outperformance 2060. Right now it's using 20% of this capacity. I can run it. I'll definitely look into it. And it definitely comes down to price, availability, and whatnot. And because when I get a new CPU, I've got to get a new cooler, because if I'm going to get a better CPU, I want to get an all-in-one radiator for it just to keep it, make sure that it stays cool. Unless I can get a really nice air cooler that's not going to break the bank. Although I have seen some tech reviews that say unless you're really pushing the overclocking, that air cooler, a lot of air coolers like the stock Ryzen air coolers do actually pretty well. Ooh, the lag. But it's definitely, there's a few options I'm looking at. The Ryzen 5 3600 definitely was quite attractive in specs as an upgrade. Some of the other Ryzen 7 series looked real nice. So we're starting to get into Kyiv. There's a nice looking bridge. The Arctic Freezer 34 Esports is a nice 200 budget cooler. I'll have a look at it. There's a power plant over yonder. That's a pretty neat looking bridge though. Ryzen 5 3600 since last August. 1CT just. And see, that's another thing I really forgot to do today is check Windows updates. So that can have a impact on it, which, again, it kind of goes back into the category of why should that be even a thing? Why should that have such an impact on flight sim performance? Oh dear. Yeah, and I hadn't gotten to installing it, but it's still, it makes me curious as to why. Why should that be a thing? Things that make you go, Ooh, look at that statue. That's neat. Kind of turned a bit. There's some sort of palace. That's pretty cool. Oh, the lag. The stadium over there makes you wonder. The biggest thing is CPU. Yeah. Ooh, there's another stadium right here. I'll be darned. Looks like a football stadium of some kind. Very cool. So I work on the farm industry, all systems validated, our Windows updates are scheduled and pre-tested before production. That's fair. Frozen's running a 2700X and NVIDIA card and lives. Nice. I should probably check for driver updates on my AMD GPU. as we're exploring downtown Kyiv. Don't forget to drink some water, or coffee, or tea. That's a pretty snazzy stadium. Very cool. There's an EGB driver set, but fair enough. Dynamo Kyiv. Gotcha, nice. So, Kyiv is a very interesting looking city. Would be fun to visit. There's this big old red building over here that we're going to take a quick look at. Ooh, it's bumpy down low. It's a neat building. Which could be a church right there. There's a big old tower out this way. Very interesting city. Would definitely be worth a visit. And that's a neat looking tower. Very cool. Nice. Alright, so let's make our way to the destination airport of Uniform Kilo Kilo Kilo. Get on here and get a bearing on where we need to go. So that was pretty neat. Peter Kearney landed in Kyiv already, as I'm up for early for work tomorrow. Is butter. Glad to have you along, Peter. Hopefully you have a good night's rest and a good day tomorrow with your early start. You take care. Ooh, Kingsman, crash one of the night. That's ouch. Yeah, I know the struggle, my friend. Wayland is off. Check out Chernobyl. Glad to have you along. You have a good rest, and we will catch you next time. Oh, we were way off. Thank you, nav mode. Let's see, direct to... Them trees, though, savage looking. Lots of lovely logs, absolutely. Completely missed the airport, but that's okay. We had some fantastic scenery to look at. Got a little turnaround, that's all. Ooh. There's a thing. Don't know what the thing is, but it's certainly a thing. Allison's changing from the laptop, or the iPad, to the iPad from the laptop. It's a thing, it's yellow, and it's in the middle of everything. Just a fantastic looking city. Got a dark rock slim air cooler, and it does well. I'll keep that in mind. And I don't really do any of the overclocking stuff, so I guess I don't need to be overly worried about cooling. I mean, obviously you want a good cooler regardless, but it's not like I'm going to be trying to push things to the limit. Magic AAA has to run. Good. Glad to have you along for as long as you could. You take care, and we'll catch you on Discord and the next flight. Just got a little lost in Kyiv. Donated them. My CPU only hits about 20% load with flight sim, but my GPU hits 100%, but it's solid. Let's run the RX 5700. Yeah, I think just, especially as far as, you know, especially with the streaming stuff goes, it's just, OBS needs a bit more CPU leeway than I currently have available for it. Like, it can do well enough, but it starts getting to a point where it's just a little too much. Okay, so airport is in sight. Turn the autopilot off. We're going to whoa up the machine. We'll do a short final. Okay, we'll just go full flaps now. So many apologies for getting lost. Much about the live streams, so that's good enough. Yeah, just the multi-threading support would be a little handier, having a little bit more speed. I mean, the only other alternative is building a whole new system just for a stream rig and getting a capture card and whatnot, but that's a lot of, in and of itself, a lot of extra. Flare. There's the touchdown. Right. So this may not be a taxiway, but we're gonna take it. Let's see if we can catch any landings. Brake set. We're catching a few of them. There's Papa Joe. Was that Papa Joe? Who's that? So there's Papa Joe. There's War Hamster. There's Druid. Our bruschetta. There's Hammy in the F-15. Chilled Corky's in. There's Frozen, Draco. There's Roger RC. Redmen 2's there. Care 85 is in the chat. Good to see you, my friend. Now that may have been it. Yep, that's it. So we're gonna zoom over to the airplane. Set that back down. Get back in the cockpit. Flaps are coming up. Parking brake off. Throttling up a little bit. Okay, so flight plan. Oh, we don't need to do the direct to. Okay. Sierra Lima. I didn't. There we go. And we're not doing a direct route necessarily. We're going to follow the river slash lake slash water system to find Chernobyl. And then proceed to our final stop of the evening. Okay, we're gonna reset our trim. Make sure it goes full. Actually, you don't want to reboot your PC. The stuttering's mostly from the add-on scenery. It was fairly smooth beforehand. It's just right now it's with the add-on scenery's kind of taking a bit of a hit. Allison's back. See, as soon as I look backwards, it's the scenery. So as the fireflies get up and away, we're going to get in the cockpit. We're going to set, let's see, I think I did put that in Sky Vector. Open. Didn't. Dang. Cancel. Well, we're going to keep it on north for a minute. So we're going to go to heading mode. Vertical speed 500 foot per minute. As I try to do some rough maths. So you gotta go. Hammy has to go. 6 a.m. for work. Broken enough windows by terrorizing neighborhood in the F-15. Well, it's good to have you along. You have a good rest, and we'll catch you next time. Let's see. It is... And we want a heading. Get us out here. That's 340. So we're going to change heading to 34. Well, we'll change it to 330. See where that gets us. We'll dial back the throttle to about 2400 RPM. Thereabouts. Should be on tonight. Might check some updates before hitting the hay, though. Yeah, that's going to be one of the first things I do after I get done with the stream tonight is go to Windows Update and be like, okay, what's the deal? Well, what you talking about? Hey, what are you kind of doing here? You know, that's a nice update there. It'd be nice if it broke. Capiche? So as we say farewell to Kyiv, and until next time, we make our way to observe remnants of history. To 3-3 or 3-4-0. Always look forward to having you in the flight there, Hammy. So we look back on Kyiv and the Fireflies. On our way north. Although I think I may also put this video in that channel because I can. So it does have the Ferris wheel, it does have the bumper cars, although the bumper cars are rather hard to see. The freeware scenery, which should be in the Discord, They've got the radar array, or what I'm assuming is a radar array. Some of the buildings have the correct, I don't know what to call them, lettering and symbology on them that are accurate to the area and the era. And a lot of the more notable buildings should be there. Definitely a beautiful part of the world. Computer doing an update, so watch the rest from your mobile. No worries, Kingsman. Hope you enjoy the view from your mobile. So we have the autopilot set to a course of 340 at 2,500 feet. As we have deviated from the direct to... Glad you are enjoying it, Kingsman. It's always good to have you along. But we've deviated from the direct to from uniform kilo kilo kilo. We're heading up to Chernobyl, and then it'll be to uniform kilo Sierra Lima. Always great having a flight with the Fireflies. Never a dull moment. And always a good time. Nice bit of formation flying going on. Yeah, I was having issues early in the stream, and I decided to eliminate it as a potential cause. It's unfortunate, but I can see it. Gosh, see if I can get it working. So hang on tight. So let's do flight planning. Say, kids just commented. Yep, we should be on a heading of 340 at 2,500 feet. I don't have the IAS currently. Let's see. We're just gonna it just doesn't want to add any of these. Fine, we'll just add. We'll add that because reasons. So send a planner. Do 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 do. To Foxtrot. And that should help out. Hopefully. There's always one. So a lot of the information down below is going to be erroneous, such as the arrival airport. But I did what I could with what I had. So we have some fantastic formation flying going on, and it's just absolutely awesome. Happy to help out, Papa Joe. Hopefully it stays working smoothly. Break. Shouldn't be too awful long now. We're definitely making headway up to the destination of Chernobyl and Pripyat. Goodness. It looks better as the sun gets higher. Oh dear. That's louder than I thought it was going to be. Fantastic flying by everyone today. It's always great to have all of you along. Keeping me company whilst flying around the world. Beautiful countryside. This is definitely on the bucket list of places in the world to visit. Look at that. That's some great flying, folks. It's absolutely fantastic flying by everyone today. Alright, so might adjust, get in the cockpit, adjust 10 degrees to the left, so 330 will be our new heading. Just ever so slightly to the left. So we can see our destination up yonder. And with the lighting, it's just absolutely nuts. Don't forget to give your body some love and hydrate. Whether you drink some water, some coffee, or some tea, your body needs it. Your body loves it. And it'll make you feel better. Because as some alien in Star Trek once said, humans are ugly bags of mostly water. It has a point. We're mostly made of water, and we need to continually, well, not continuously, but we regularly ingest water to keep ourselves alive. Spicy way to live, Seamus. I don't think I've had a proper scotch before. I've had bourbon whiskeys. I've had... Actually, most of the whiskeys I've had have been bourbon whiskeys or whatever you'd classify Jameson as. Other than, you know, delicious. Just phenomenal flying, guys and gals. Friends and fireflies. We're getting close to the destination. So we're gonna pop inside of the old cockpit. Now somewhere off in the distance here, there should be the radar, or what I'm assuming is a radar array, unless we've already passed it, which is possible. But it's fairly good sized, so aha! It's there. Hard to see at this distance. But it is part of the scenery. I can only assume that it's a radar array. It is speculation on my part, but I think it's a reasonable assumption. I could very, very easily be wrong. And it wouldn't be the first time, won't be the last time. So as we get back in the cockpit proper, you can begin to see there's the sarcophagus, the main power station, the cooling tower, cranes, and off a little to the left of that you can start to see the city buildings of Pripyat. As apparently we're low on fuel. Come on, flight sim. Oh dear, it's definitely been one of those nights. No worries. We'll just switch over to Nya and take care of some Nya. It was a crash. So that would be 3 thus far. But that's okay. I think that's a big part of it. When they're getting ready for a big update, for whatever reason there's a lot of server instability. And the worst part about these ones is the fact that they've delayed it now 2 weeks and it's still just had the consistent unstable or instability of the servers. Because it's not like we're flying in somewhere that's heavily populated or... I mean, there's just not a lot of people in the area, so there's no reason why it should be unstable. But for whatever reason, they've decided to have so much of the sim dependent on the server that it just... the servers get a little unstable and it just creates problems. It's incredibly frustrating. It's frustrating without streaming, but once you start getting into streaming as well, it really creates problems. It can make a good streamer look bad. Yeah, it's just nuts. It's frustrating, but we press on. We don't let it get us down. We persevere. We shall persevere. We're just waiting on the sim to do sim things. Only a little bit left to go. for the flight. You're probably all overlooking the scenery by now. Nope, you're fine. Don't worry about it, Papa Joe. Ed Reed's in the chat. Good to see you. Goblin is off. Good to have you along. You sleep well, and we'll catch you next time for sure. And on the Discord. And of course, it put me at 7,500 feet because it's stupid. All right. Technical has to run. Glad to have you along for as long as we did. You take care. All right. So there's the cooling towers. As well as the main power station, maybe. I'm not entirely certain, but we have the sarcophagus and the control buildings. Trees have pretty well reclaimed the city. That looks like the Olympic pool just below us now. But the real shame is there's a generation of folks that only know about the incident that happened here because of, they only know what they know from Call of Duty, and that's a real shame, because they don't necessarily get the impact of the human element from it. No worries, Draco. It's definitely worth it to sightsee every now and then. As Ben Vanalt is now following over on Twitch, many thanks. Do hope you enjoy the flight. That's where the reactor is, and the remnants of it. It had to be because they couldn't build it directly over the reactor because the radiation's so high. Directly over the reactor, they had to build it and move it. And this little piece of history shall always be here. And it's nice that somebody put a decent rendition of it, or a nice rendition of it, into Flight Sim, so that we may all remember it. That's I'm going to reserve comment on that whole situation, because I have thoughts, and they're yeah. I shall share them afterwards. So we're going to make our way to the final stop for the evening. See, there's a connection lost and successfully connected. So it's definitely the servers that are being silly, and thusly causing a lot of instability. So we're getting back to cruise altitude. We'll pull the power back. Now it's going to be a tiny, tiny little airport. Yeah, it did the exact same thing to me. So my money says they're messing around with the servers, and that's what's causing the instability. So it's not my fault entirely. It's not my computer. Yeah, well, and I don't understand why they have to have everything server based. It's just, especially when it ends up causing people problems. That just seems like a poor design. Having so many simulator things connected to servers and relying on a server for this, that, and the other thing. It's just like, and then doing an update, it's just like, can you not like have different servers to do all that stuff and then switch it over for the big update? Or there's got to be a better solution. I say that not knowing nothing about how it works, but I can't imagine that this is one of the only sims that, or pieces of software that does this sort of thing, that, or at least say, hey, we're doing server maintenance, it's going to be down, so these things aren't going to be available. At least say something. Maybe I'm just asking too much. Who knows? I've stopped trying to guess because it just creates headaches. And honestly, it's just meh. It's a frustration, and it's not going anywhere for the foreseeable future. Nice. So many trees. So this final airport is going to be a lot like the first one, and it's going to be really small. And we're not terribly far from it. Only about 18 miles or so. But bear with me one moment. I'll be right back. And we're bad. And my headphones are on backwards. Apologies for the slight interruption in broadcast. It's been one of them nights. So we're about 11 miles out. So it looks like good old Mr. Murphy has a flight set up tomorrow for Chile. Looks like it's going to be a lots of fun with some bush flying. So that ought to be quite very exciting. Oh yeah. And then coming up on the 13th of February will be the Simwings charity flight, which I do hope to be streaming, which I believe is a week from Saturday. So look forward to that. And I believe if I recall correctly, the Simwings event is also in Chile. I was trying to schedule the post, but it didn't work. Oh well, it should be good crack. Absolutely. Well, you also have to consider you're 5 hours ahead of me, which puts you at about 11 p.m., which is late for a lot of people. But either way, it looks to be a lot of fun. Some awesome formation flying going on. But we're getting awfully close, 5 miles out. Now we're looking for a very small strip that may look slightly dilapidated. Just keep your eyes peeled. 3 miles out. So I will do my best to get down first so that I may record some landings. Airport in sight, says Draco. believe I've got it in sight as well. Yep, definitely have it in sight. So, bye-bye autopilot. Mixture goes to full. Power goes to 1600 RPMs. So we want to keep a eye on that road, because it's directly below us. She's a tiny little airport. So we're going to start reducing power. There's one notch. Go ahead and go for 2. Turn on base. It's a bit of a postage stamp of an airstrip. So we'll have a little bit of a crosswind. Reduce throttle. Hope your brakes are up to snuff there, folks. Not a big airfield, that's for darn sure. So I'll get parked off the runway here. Not terrible, all things considered. Continue, please. Insert. Come on, you silly bugger. There's Catbat and there's Frozen. There's our bruschetta. There's Draco. go. That might be it. That is it. So, to everyone that came along and watched, or I'll find a good outro song. I do greatly appreciate everyone for being in the chat. It's fantastic to have you all along. Oh, goodness. There's not really any good one. That's a good one. So I do appreciate everyone coming along. It's been a lot of fun. We checked out some awesome scenery. We persevered through some sim-related horrors. And we made it. So, until the next time that we gather together and fly, I do wish you all the best. And be good to each other. Stay safe out there. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.